Hello and welcome to the next lecture. We're going to see how to use CORS. So CORS is cross-origin resource sharing. So the cross-origin means basically, let's say that you have a website for example, yesterday we created the AI guide tours, right? You can supply a front end for it that you call basically like the index, the static one, right? The index HTML. So here, when you serve this website itself, right? When the Quarkus hosts the static file, and you go to this localhost 8080, right? For example, somehow you will use the let's say you call the hello endpoint from the index HTML, right? This will work. But if you open the file outside of the Quarkus, outside of the 8080 port, it will fail, saying that the origin is not allowed by this website. So, and it's not the problem of the connection, right? So connection is established. It's the, let's say, it's security from the browser. So if you use Postman and go to the /hello, it will work perfectly because there is no cross-origin involved. But if you're somehow running code in a browser, like you created a React app and you try to call some of the endpoints of, for example, you try to call some of the endpoints of the Facebook, which is not in the API. This will fail because the browser won't allow you to call from one site, call the endpoints from the other site that haven't allowed it. So it's basically, let's say it's the formal rule for the browsers that all the browsers follow. So if one browser says, hey, I only want requests allowed from this and this website, right? So Facebook can say, I want only allow the endpoints like for the Google and Apple, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, that's basically what CORS is. So if you have a CORS, you specify which browsers allowed to use your API, right? And this can be useful if you want to allow it worldwide, right? So you want to have so that anyone from any website can call your API, or for example, you have specific endpoint. For example, you don't want to share your API with anyone, so you use the, let's say you have two domains, you specify two domains, and so if somebody will use browser, they will be able to call only two specific, like the endpoints will be, if it goes from the same website, then it will work, right? So yeah, let's create a project. I have here, we actually used it yesterday, right? So 1 second. Quarkus course. So yeah, let's create a new like the greeting resource. Let's say it's hello new, right? And actually let's say it will be course test, or should be, yeah, let's create actually a little bit a new name. Let's say it's course test, like this. So it will be the same. I'll just rename the artifact ID like this. So you can see that here is a course test. So it's Maven, Quarkus Maven plugin 1-to-1, create, take.now package, course test artifact ID, take.now greeting resource will be a class, and path will be hello. So nothing special. Let's create our project. Okay, so we waited a little bit before it started, before it indexed, and let's go to the resources, meta inf resources index HTML, and let's create a script here. Script type application JavaScript, I think. Hope it's like this, and let's use what is it? Request equals new XML HTTP request, like this. So do the request open, and then method will be get, and then let's go to the HTTP localhost 8080 and then hello. If I'm not wrong, we have such a link, and now also true, so it will be sync, I think, and then let's request send, and that's enough. So once we open it, it will send this thing, and console log request, I think it should be response text, yeah, so like this. Yeah, I haven't used JavaScript, the plain JavaScript vanilla for a while, but yeah, so let's run our, actually let me make it a little bit larger for you so you can see what we've done. And let's call our, actually can use terminal here, the how was it, CORS tests, right? So that's a folder, that's our folder for the project. That's basically what we opened here in IntelliJ IDEA. So let's call Maven or Maven and the Quarkus test, right? The Quarkus dev, sorry. So it will run our app on 8080 right now, and you can see that listening on 8080, and we can actually go there, right? So I'll open my yesterday's, there's still computer engine, so localhost 8080, and we can see if we go to DevTools, yeah, I'm not sure why it's, so if we go to the DevTools network, you should see that we executed localhost 8080 hello. Not sure if I don't think I can magnify, but I hope I will do it on the post rendering. So yeah, so we successfully executed localhost 8080 hello, right? So now if we will actually use this file and open it via the other service or open just in the browser, so I'll use this from link. You can see that we opened the actually CORS test meta inf resources index HTML. So let's go to the network and see, let's restart it, and you see that it's failed actually. So the hello, the localhost 8080/hello failed. Why? So we can actually go to the I think we can go to the console, and you can see that access to XML HTTP request at 8080 from origin localhost 63.342 has been blocked by CORS policy. No access control origin headers present on the requested resource. So what does it mean? It's exactly what I specified, exactly what I said. If you don't have anything specified by CORS, in Quarkus, in Spring, wherever you use, it's by default all the requests not from localhost 8080 in our case, or if you're using, let's say, AI guide TORs, right, it will be blocked. So even though we have a localhost, the purist is different, and so you can do it because, well, maybe you're this 63.342 trying to get some private data, right? So that's why you have this thing. And how to fix it? It's actually super easy. So we need to go to IntelliJ IDEA and go to the application properties. And so here you need to specify first if is a Quarkus. I think it's HTTP CORS equals true. So this way you say that you enabled CORS as is. So if we'll refresh it, you will see that actually it already passes. And yeah, so you can see that the 63.342 it's already passing. So we enabled CORS in some way or another, but we haven't specified anything. So in Spring, you can enable CORS, but it won't help you basically. So you'll need to add a little bit more parameters, a little bit more headers to it. In Quarkus, you can see that it's already working as is, but let's see what we actually got from from our response from the headers. So let's see. So yeah, so you can see that we allow credentials is true and allow origin is localhost 683.342 was handled correctly. Okay, so now let's say that you want to allow, so we allow basically when you say a CORS true, right, like this, you allow everyone to use your endpoints. So you want to narrow it to specific, let's say we want to have a localhost 63342, right? So this is done really easy. I'll actually duplicate it. So we put a Quarkus HTTP CORS origins equals, and then everything that you want with a comma like this, right? So we have only one, but we can say that it's like this, right? So let's see it to work. And so we are refreshing, and you can see it's working. But if I'll remove the 63342, the default one have only 45, right? We'll refresh, and you will see that it failed because of the cross origin request, as expected, right? So yeah, so you can see that in the response headers we don't have any allowed, let's say, origin. So but if we'll add it back, you will see, and restart, of course, you will see that hello, which was used here, will have this allowed origin, right? Okay, so now we know how to share origins, so we know which origin we want to allow to use our API, right? Now we can also specify which methods we want to use. For example, so we put methods like this, and so let's say you want to share get, put, and that's it, right? You don't want to. So users, the other like websites can get data, put something, update, right? But no way they can use a post, for example, right? So they can create new data, something like this. So one thing to mention is that get won't work. So get will be allowed all the time, by this Quarkus specification, right? But other methods can be dynamic. So for example, right? So right now it will work, of course. So we can go to our test, and you can see that get hello worked fine. But we can go to the request open method, put a post, for example, and also update the creating resource to use a post. So now if we'll refresh, I think it's okay. It doesn't work for this one. Let's use the let's remove the put and use the put actually, right? So put, and then we can use the put here. So I haven't specified. So you can see, yeah. So we removed the put method, and now it's let's say disabled, right? So you can't use a put because we have it here, and we also specified that we use only get. So if we use put a put here, you'll see that it's working fine. So it's actually get in this case somehow. So yeah, put. So now we use put. You can see request method put working fine. We remove it, it doesn't work. So yeah, so that's this part. So you can also specify headers that you allow to pass. So some you can put here something that you will return via the creating resource in the headers, right? So there is also such thing as exposed headers. So I don't know, like this. I don't know what we can put here right now, but yeah. So you have also headers, exposed headers, and last thing that you have is an expectancy of a lifetime. The last thing that you can specify is how long can you cache the data. Access control max age, so it can be set to 12 hours, for example. So this is you cache not the data itself, but the let's say because we allowed the get method, right, for example, or put, how long can it be stored for a cache. So if, for example, user will be banned, so with this access control max age, right? 12 hours. So imagine that user was banned 6 hours after the cache. The user still can use this data. So if it goes to this specific endpoint and he calls this API, right? Our, what is it? They put hello, right? He will get basically the data back, because there is still 6 hours before the access control. The course will be refreshed, and then you will see that it's not working anymore. So like this. So yeah, that's basically it. You know now how to manipulate these courses. So keep in mind that everything this is optional. So if you remove it, this will be enough to enable all the access basically. So this is super not comfortable, let's say it's super convenient for development, right? For dev servers, for whatever you use. So we previously had a lot of problems with the CORS when you have for example, a server, right? So you have a dev server, and then you have two different UIs on a different ports, and they are not served by the server, right? It was a Spring, I think, but we somehow the other developers doesn't wanted to use the self-served, or maybe it was like the full, because we had a two different UI, seeing what's the difference, and we have them on different, like even one of them was on a different domain. So you have to not forget to use CORS, and so in Quarkus, this line will fix all of the issues that you have with CORS, comparing to Spring that it will take a little bit longer, but still you can see that it's super easy. So keep in mind that basically everything below is optional. So now if we uncommented everything, you can see that we refresh and get all the data, whatever you use basically, right? So yeah, but if you need to specify specific, for example, you want to have only origins, only specific methods, headers, or whatever you want, you can always specify it. But in most of the cases, this will work. For the prod, if you serve a website from the Quarkus itself, you don't need this course at all. If you have exposed API that can be used on whatever you like in some JavaScript, if you like, there is a other company that has a React and it tries to call your API to get some data on UI, this will also be required for you to enable the course. Otherwise, if they use their own backend and query the data via backend, this is not required. So again, as I said, so we can put the origins right like this. We can say that we actually can false. We don't want to use the course right now at all, right? So now if I refresh, you'll see that it's failing. But again, if we call the postman, it's actually put, right? So if we call the postman, you will see that we have the body hello, and it's working fine. So yeah. So yeah, now you know how to use the course. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.